Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command Orion Pirates plus Mon. I'm Fleet Admiral Tirak of the USS Emniar, and we join our heroes in progress of the getting to be very, very long siege of this starbase. This clock ticks down in real time. It's not affected by the fact that I have the game on maximum speed, so we've been sitting here for a good 40 minutes shelling this thing. You should have seen before, back when he still had enough labs in order to keep like his shield regeneration going at a decent level, I just had my cursor constantly tracking this side around and around and around, because we'd knock it out and then it'd regenerate about here, and then we'd knock it out and regenerate about here, and then as we started taking out labs it started regenerating here, and now, well, we've got a nice big hole in the ship. And he appears to really only be firing back with one, maybe two phaser 4s at this point. So he's aching, he's hurting, and he had something like 50, 60 troops up here before. I'm sort of half using this as a barometer to figure out the hull, because I'm not brave enough to get any closer than what I'm at right now. So we're just going to shell this thing. Just prior to me turning the recording back on, we did get that little audio call out that the AI does. He's a burning wreck, so I'm hoping we're getting close to the end of the siege. But yeah, until I stop hearing the phaser 4 firing, I'm just going to continue to sit here at ultra long range and lay down the hurt with proximity heavy photon torpedoes. Now my AI buddies aren't so smart. They don't sit and just aim forward and fire at things. They do these little loops, which kind of reduces the amount of firepower that they bring to the table, which is not great, but hey, it's not really my choice or ability to do anything about it. All I can really do is set them on normal firing mode, or special firing mode, so that they're in proximity mode, and just let them do their thing. I tried syncing up fire before using the fire only on my command thing, but with them doing that little loopy thing that they're doing, that was not working out as well as I was hoping. So now I'm just sort of letting them do their own thing while I try and keep track of my own fire. We're getting about 1.5 photon torpedo volleys in every time he spins around, depending on how I time it. If we start shooting soon enough, we can actually get... There we go! 51 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh my god. Oh, that was an exhausting fight. I didn't really do anything other. 250 prestige. Really? All for that? We took out the Starbase. Of course, we do need to go home now. We are in rough shape. It's time back to the shipyard. We're gonna spend pretty much all our supplies just patching up. Argus never ever gets fixed, apparently. Emniar, we're going to... Can we afford missiles for you? We can, okay. Miscellaneous, I need a couple more Marines. Definitely more spare parts. You saw that fighter wing that came in and just gutted us. Yeah, that was no fun at all. Give him 5 spare parts and a couple Marines. And we'll load him up with slow missiles, because we can't afford anything better than him. Not going to do Epicenter. We're going to try and bounce back into this fight. I really want to take this planet, and we do have the tile neutral. And it's a planetary assault that forces us on. If this forces me to do another protracted, incredibly annoying siege, I may go insane. So I'm just going to sit here and hope beyond hope, that this is a shieldless planet. Because if it is, then great. I almost forgot I'm running at full speed. If it's a shieldless planet, then absolutely excellent. We can shell it normally and it won't take all that long. Oh boy. Light cruiser, heavy cruiser, light cruiser, planet, light cruiser. So 3 light cruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, and a 4th light cruiser. This could get ugly fast. Like disturbingly fast. I don't want to lose my ships after such a painful fight. I mean, to come out of that and suddenly get thrown into this, and where they say, no, all your ships are now dead. That would just be a crushing blow to my morale. Alphabet soup. That's not the key. D5 crap. X-type heavy cruiser. He is my equivalent. You are definitely my equivalent. He's gonna wade into this fight, and when he gets there, he's gonna rip apart all comers. So, they're pumping a ton of power into ECCM, so there's really no point in me trying to put out ECM, as we wouldn't be able to put out enough of it to matter. We're gonna try and head you off in this pass. I really should just push in and try and fight him, but I don't want to place myself in that position. Okay. You are a drone cruiser. You've got 8 missile launchers, which we take care of. No problem, but we're all in formation like that. Okay, that's one down. But it's only a light cruiser, so it's not exactly what I would consider incredibly dangerous. We should really keep an eye out for Mr. Big Bad, and that is Mr. Big Bad. He is a D6... No, that's not. You are XCF. He's a fast cruiser. Okay, that works for me. So he is not as dangerous as he could be. This guy is actually... Well, he's the same thing as the Fisher-Price back then. Ship. Helm. Prepare a rapid maneuver. I want to lay everything I've got into that. Ah, it turned off. I'm not quite sure what causes that to happen, because it really sucks when it does. Let me pick this off for you. Show me that weakened side. Darn it, it's back up. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to give you the other barrel, because I have the ability to do that. I'm not quite done with you, though. We are traveling at a fairly high rate of speed. I'm going to dump the photon torpedo on you, and then I'm going to shut you off, because I need the speed, I need the maneuverability. We really can't afford to be getting into a fight where we're dragged down. We need to be moving and shaking at all times. And shuttle, go. A bit of a long-range thing to work with, but at this point, our fast cruiser is pretty much absorbing everything. So I'm easily satisfied with that. He's now turning into us. That works fine by me. I'm going to put a lot of firepower into him. Come on, give me the flanks. Right down that throat. Okay, I want to cause more damage to you. Well, as long as I've got an opening, we're going to put some fire into him. Fisher-Price is still running, but he is, well, outgunned. Where did Fisher-Price go? Fisher-Price is swerving out wide over here, that's good, but he is being chased. We gotta give him some covering fire, and we're not in a position to really do that. We don't have any phasers available. There we go. Opening up with what we got, the heavy phaser getting in there with some nice crunchy damage right there. We're gonna maintain our turn. He's gonna outrun us, but that's fine. As long as we kind of keep him forced out to the edges of the fight. Oh crap, Fisher-Price, get back to us. Swerve back over here. Oh, hi. I've got a jet phaser with your name on it. Anything else? 4 weapons? Not quite yet. The heavy photon torpedoes are almost available. I'd like to fire them sometime very soon. There we go. Okay. Heavy photons doing their work. Crap. Let's get in there. Come on, save the Fisher-Price. Couldn't save him. That's a really expensive ship to have lost. This planetary assault better be worth it. Do I have anything available for this? Only in the overrun with the G-types. Wow, you had a lot of firepower to be able to dump at me there. He's swerving off. Where is that XCF? He is scoring on the Argus. He's the Dragon Slayer. Well, we're the Dragonborn. Something like that. Not quite sure. I only played Skyrim a couple of times. Not very good at it. We're going to swoop in here, see if we can't lay into him. Our heavy photon torpedo should be ready by the time we get there. We're going to buff this to 360-degree protection. Really, it should just be 6 o'clock protection, but I like the buff everywhere. Oh, come on, turn into me. If he turns into me, I can take him. I can take him hard, and he knows it. Because he's going to have to expose that throat to me. Come on, expose it. Expose it. You know you want to. There it is. Not quite what I wanted, but I'll depart on this side. Oh, he took out my rear shielding. That's really bad. Let's come about. So the rear shield is now very much offline. Got to get that vulnerable rear shield away. Otherwise, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm going to try and scare you off just a little bit. This should put enough protection to force him to break off just a little bit, because I can't afford to keep this turn going up much longer. Okay, we have defensive shields again, reinforce just the rear, and we're going to re-engage with him. We got a phaser barrage that's just about to get ready to go. We're going to pull around his rear. There's that. And the Gatling phasers should come online now, which allows us to get lots of those nice little hits in, which does so much disabling shock damage. Gotta suddenly worry about him, but don't worry. We were able to handle it. We got 103% chance of the high energy turn, and I got heavy photon torpedoes ready. Okay, that did good work. Crew, how are you doing on crew? You're mine. I'm going to ignore you now. Okay, what do we got to focus next? You're running around at this fight at pretty high speed. You probably think you're all that. This shield I'm starting to get a little bit worried about. Not so worried about this one because I can control it with my fucking arm. Okay, that wasn't good. That was pretty bad, actually. How are we doing repair-wise? Everything's mostly in good shape. We got a single starboard side phaser that's not operating so well. And I'm probably going to need to do another quick turn. Nope, I can just reduce some speed here. We lost a photon torpedo, though, which is not wonderful. And I'm not in a good position to really overload you with firepower, am I? That's not good. Need more speed. More speed. Oh, crap. Okay, that may have done us in. That may be the thing that ended the ballgame. Because if I don't take you soon... well, there we go. Okay. We got an additional target to help cover for us. We need to be on top of power and one of our photon torpedo launchers. So he's not much, but he is a target for them to have to focus on, which is kind of all I need. I just need them to spread out their firepower a little bit, give me some breathing room. We've lost a lot of shielding. And we should be able to... Okay. Phasers. Point defense is now active. I am officially concerned about what you've got. Yeah, I'm good with that. And I will now knife strike on the rear. Defender ship destroyed. That was the Dragon Slayer. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with seeing Dragon Slayer die. You are going offline. You are going online. Port sides are now active, which I suppose makes sense. That's where we're getting most of our heavy weapons. Oh, crap. So we've got two H5Ns, which are still pretty dangerously deadly, and one that is pretty crippled. Hoping that I can make another one on that dangerously crippled list. You. Come on, show me. The crew? Okay, that works for me. We're going to swing out wide in this fight. He's maintaining a speed of 30, so he's still in good shape. Him, not as much. He's only doing 16. Giving us some time to reload our weaponry here. Got to keep on that warp core stabilization. It's important. We're maintaining a high enough speed to outrun these missiles. We never really have to worry about them. The G-Type Gatlings will take care of it, and I have no forward shield, a minimum forward shield. So, reinforce 360 again. I really should focus it on the rear, but I also need help in front. He's coming in from a bit of a weird angle, but I'm not too concerned about that. Keep the repair engines going. It's been two rough fights in a row. Oh, you make me angry. Did not want to lose him. This planet better be worth it. This better be the planet of chocolate and something. PLPF. Because we've lost 5,000 prestige worth of ships. And they were all a lot better than you, buddy. So we are at full power. We're going to reduce that just a bit. Take some hits on the disengaging side. And prod through here. Look at that. Gatling phasers are up. I gotta pull within range of 3. There it is. Let them do their little prickly work. Because that's what they do. Starboard photon torpedo is... I shut you off, didn't I? And I'm gonna pull away from you. Nope. Don't even need to. Helm. 90 degree. I need a full-on turn because we're gonna dump a whole bunch of photon torpedoes in him. Pull into the front. Lined up well. And I got him. Okay. On to the final. What was that? Oh, I guess the photon torpedo ran into it. Anything that runs into that planet causes that sound effect. He's got phaser 4s and shields. Ah, really? I don't want to do this. I don't want to do a super long and involved shelling fight. That's what I'm going to have to do, isn't it? On the bright side, planets don't turn. So that helps a lot. So he's only got phaser 4s, which means I don't have to worry about anything that breaches through my shielding, like, you know, heavy disruptors like that one base station had. He was able to shoot and bust through things, which, as you might imagine, was not fun. We're going to work on patching everything. Because we need to. Pardon me. The key thing that ended up being our strategy when we took down the base station was we overloaded all of our phasers and just kept firing. Even at maximum range, if we did only 1 damage, combine that with our photon torpedoes, and it was enough to overpower things. So we are going to take a moment and select all of our phasers and set them to overload. Just double check to make sure it did that. It did not, because we had the broken phaser selected. And overload that phaser too. We're going to need it. We're going to get to a distance of, I'm going to say, 30, which is pretty safe to where we were last time. And once we're at range 30, we're just going to shell everything we can. And I'm expecting this to take a while, especially now that we lost our friendlies, which was annoying. But hopefully that'll take this planet, and that'll be an important thing in the war, I think. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. If we're lucky. Yeah, if we're lucky. We will start out, however, proximity... Ah, crap, I hit overload. Now I gotta wait for them to recharge. They're immediately put down to half capability, which sucks. I wonder what's dented on the Type A's. Something's broken. Still haven't enough spare parts to rebuild part of the ship, so that's good. And there's his shield. We can see it. And we're going to take a moment. When the time comes, we will buff this up to maximum ECM. It does help a little bit when you're working at these extreme ranges. And he does have big, scary weapons. But we are going to wait until we get into firing range. That's our main concern at this point. Starting to slow down. 32. 31. And stop. Okay, full speed on everything. Shield is holding. And he does have disruptors. Okay, not great. Maximum ECM. How is that for shield? Shield still has quite a bit of power going to it. Let's see what he does with this ECM. Part of the reason why I'm using this is also to pull power away from his shield reinforcement. If he's wasting power on an ECCM system, he's not wasting it on us. Oh, we punched right through. So that's really good. That's wonderful. So he apparently did not have enough shield reinforcement to handle all the fun stuff. and we should have a grand old time just pegging away at him. Now, I'm a little worried about how much shield we've got to play with. Because, as you can see, we're only putting in about 4 points. So imagine if he hits with disruptors and everything, it wouldn't be good. He is still maintaining a full ECCM suit, which doesn't exactly work great for me. But I'm hoping that I will start to see that ECCM drop down relatively soon. We're just going to keep blasting away. Okay, that got through a little bit. Our goal at this point is to be able to kill him before he can kill us. Which may be a bit of a tall order. We need to generate a defense shift sometime soon, and if we don't, we're going to be in some serious problems. I mean, we have very little energy to put into the forward shield, and that's a problem. 37, 8, and 2. I'm hoping to really deal enough damage to make you stop shooting. I'm really hoping. We got a defense shift to 1, so he's running out of power. We are starting to hit, power reactor generators somewhere on the surface. He's down to being able to put out 3 points of energy. And now it's dropping even more. Did it take it away? Yeah, he's got no more energy to put into his ECM generator. So we've got a defense shift of 2, which is big. This is a huge deal in terms of accuracy. I mean, he's still hitting us, but it's not nearly as bad as it would be. Another blast from our photon torpedoes. And we're steadily working him down. And, yeah. I'm kind of wondering what his hull integrity is at. But there's no real point in testing that out until after we get him low enough on things. We will patch the transporter, because we do need to beat people over to win. Granted, the transporter isn't busted, but, I think the minimum we can get these guys down to is about 2. Maybe more, but I'm not really willing to waste a ton of time on that. I would much rather just swoop in once he stops shooting back and, well, win that way. Although, the amount of fire coming our way has definitely dropped, which is a good thing. Is that all the shit? No, he still has phasers firing. We don't have enough energy in our capacitor to charge all these heavy weapons and have max ECCM, or max ECM, and, max power the capacitor, which kind of sucks. Because we would be able to do even more if we could, but we can't. And it's in part to that ECM. But I think if we drop this down to 4, we'll still have the defense shift to 2. We'll check it out. Yeah, at 4, that defense shift to 2 is maintained. 3 will drop it down to a defense shift to 1, right? Yeah, it does. So we want to keep that up there. He's definitely running out. So we will increase speed slowly and start coming in. And we're going to steadily bombard the crap out of this guy, because he deserves it. He's still got a phaser 4. I'm not happy about you having a phaser 4. I would like you to shut it off, please. And as you can see, nothing on the hit and run tab. We can't send in surgical strike teams down to the surface to kick major butt. That's just not something in our purview. So he's got no power for ECCM. He's got barely any power for his weapons. That's pretty clear. And his shields were minimal. I was expecting a long, drawn-out siege with me having to blast through shields that were just ungodly powerful. Now, maybe it's because the base station was constantly rotating, so keeping track of what you were shooting at was a little bit more of a chore. Would you please shut off that gosh darn phaser 4? I would like it to be dead now. The sooner it's dead, the happier I'll be. If I don't flip this tile, though, I'm gonna be so very disappointed. Although, on the other hand, the Emnir is now the primary ship in the fleet, so we don't have to keep hopping back to it every single time we load a mission. So that's gonna be great. It's gonna be better than great. Constantly firing, getting steadily closer. when we get into range, we will beam people over. And that's going to be the last proximity shot. All photon torpedo shots are now going to be fired at normal. And we're almost there. He's still got a phaser 4, which makes me unhappy. And we're still running this game at really high speed. And that's it. So we're gonna wait to see. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm way too impatient. Go Marines! I'm firing just to kind of stun things as best I can until the shields come back. There we go. Okay, we've got it. We have the planet. And yes, I'm going to keep up the bombardment because, one, they killed 2 of my ships, which were pretty expensive, and 2, hopefully it'll keep systems offline. Give me a planet. Oh. There we go. Planet captured, Starbase destroyed. The sector was an utter pain to take. Hopefully it'll have flipped it by now. 615 prestige, another 150 probably for taking the boat. And it's ours. Whew. So we're going to pull into dock here, because that was a doozy. We're going to patch up 146 points worth of damage. Throw in a bunch of missiles, a bunch of admin shuttles, a ton of Marines because we're out. We'll get us up to 15 spare parts. And the shipyard is telling me we can't afford anything. They've got a heavy bombardment cruiser and a heavy bombardment cruiser. Nice to see you're investing in the cool stuff. So this is the map as things stand now. They're down to 6 tiles. We just took this planet, so they're down to 5 tiles. This is Kronos, this is a Starbase, and these are 3 tiles up in the middle of Lyran space. We're doing pretty good here. We're really getting through. This campaign coming to a close very shortly. Oof, I can taste a victory so close, but we are back down to a single ship, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So, I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.